It's definitely tough, but it's good that we went down fighting. Fought all year. Sucks that we ended up short, but give Indiana all the credit. They're a great team. Going to do good in the tournament.
Kyle, can you kind of talk about your start a little bit, kind of what was working for you today?
Establishing fastball in. Don't let him extend. I missed my spot on Travis when he hit the double off the wall. Thought Chad had a beat on it, just kept carrying. But I battled, got out of it. Just mixing speeds in and out and just getting hitters out, getting ahead.
What is the difference velocity-wise or accuracy or anything going on, I guess, compared to today versus Wednesday with you guys?
I don't know about velocity. I always feel like I go out there feeling like I'm throwing 95 and someone will tell me I'm throwing 85, but just going out there battling, having fun, and, to have a chance to take the ball for a Big Ten title was, it's special for me. I couldn't have asked for better teammates to do this with, and we'll be back.
I guess on Brendan, do you feel like you've had your best stuff going on 3 days rest, or do you feel like, I mean, what's different not having a full week's rest, I guess?
Different mindset, more mental preparation. You kind of got to block the pain out if you're sore or tired, and just think that you've had a full week's rest, so just mentally being more prepared.
Were you pretty much at the end of the line there after 5?
Coach Erstead came to me after 5 and said, "You're done." I always want to take the ball all 9, but we had some guys in the pen that we felt that could take the ball and throw up zeros, and we battled from the pen, and they couldn't have done a better job, and it's unfortunate we fell up short.
Cash, you guys were down again today. A couple runs. Just describe what the mood was like in the dugout. You battle back. What was the mood like in those moments when you went up 3-1?
Well, the mood's the same. I mean, we were down last night, and we just compete, keep going, keep grinding, and just take at bats, take pitches, and just try to get people on base, try to move them over, and that's what we did. We came back, got it 3-2. I think the 8th, and we got a guy on in the 9th, and we moved him over, and that's what we did. We battled.
Brian, that pitcher kind of got off to a strong start against you guys. It seemed like you started to chip away late in the game, especially in the 7th and 8th innings. You kind of got those tying runs there. What did he have working for him early on, and I guess did you guys just kind of make some adjustments that allowed you to get some runs late?
Yeah, he had some good stuff today. He could throw all his pitches. He could locate all his pitches throughout pretty much the whole game. But we tried to stay with our approach the whole game. I mean, we hit some balls hard right at him, but I mean, stuck to our approach, and a few fell, and we tied it up there in the end. But couldn't get any more.
Cash, I guess just what was last night like for you guys after you left here? You go to sleep easily, if it was easy to kind of to sort of put that game aside and get refocused for the start early today?
I mean, the game last night was awesome. I mean, we had a walk-off from Tanner that's been struggling a little bit, and he came in the clutch. Then going to bed, we were still excited, but we knew we had a game at 12, so we had to get back and get rest. Maybe get a little drink and some food in us, and just be ready for today, actually. And I think we came out good and just didn't go our way.
Anything more for the student athletes? Cash, how would you, it seems like you've been here for a while now. I mean, how would you sum up your Husker career?
Art's career, it's been the best. I mean, got a good education, made good friends, new coaches. Best times of my life here, playing baseball for the Huskers.
Kind of feel like you and the other seniors have kind of set the groundwork for what it's going to take to get back to the NCAA tournament?
Always, yes. The last 2 years, I think we've put a set on what we need to put with our task and getting to a regional and bringing a championship home.
I guess Brian, you can answer that too. Just, what do you feel like you guys have done as a senior class for the last?
Pretty much the same as Cash. Good education and made some awesome friends. Obviously, love playing baseball. Wish things could have went better. Wish we could have made a regional, but I think that we set the foundation for this program to turn things around, and hopefully they can make a regional next year.
Hey, Brian, do you take some pride in being that part of that class that, at least it looks now that, yeah, you guys kind of have turned the corner, the baseball program's heading the right way. Do you guys take some pride in being that class? Obviously, you wanted to get to a regional, and I'm not saying it's a constellation, but being that team.
Yeah, that's what we are striving for all year. Obviously, we came up a little bit short, but I think that we definitely had the mindset and put in some good things that the younger kids can follow in the future.
And Kyle, what have these seniors meant to you?
They're leaders. They've been through some hard times in this program, and for them to stick it out, to lead this team to where we are today, we wanted for them, to go out on a high note, but they've set the foundation, set the bar high. I couldn't be more happier that I can look up to them, any one of those seniors, ask them questions, pick their brain, and it was fun, and I was glad to be a part of this team.
Let's take one more for the student athletes. All right, you guys are free to go.
Get over the hump, beat those teams, you're toe to toe with them. What do you got to do to head into a conference tournament not having to win it to secure a spot in your region?
Just get better in all phases of the entire thing. It's just just got to coach better and inspire them more, and just keep grinding away.
Is there something that these guys go out and play their summer ball league that you really need to see from them over that time? Obviously, you're not with them, but.
Well, I think you just, the little details of the game that make such a big difference when the score's close. I think it really emphasizes how important every rep of the most monotonous drills you can do in baseball, every rep in the weight room, every last conditioning drill. Are you truly giving it everything you have to develop that confidence in those situations out there? I think it just really puts emphasis on how important all those reps are, and the limited amount of hours we're allowed to work with the student athletes. There's a sense of urgency, not just during the season or today, but the day they step foot on campus. And moments like this really, I think, hit home to them that how important it really is to really lock it in from day one.
Coach, did you ever get the sense that your guys acknowledged the difficulty of what you had to do in terms of winning 4 in 3 days and beating the top 2 teams yesterday? I don't know if they did. From your vantage point, did you ever get the sense that they fully understood it?
Yeah, I think they understood exactly what was ahead of them. That's why I kind of after, we had basically made the first Ohio State game a must-win with the pitching being a little thin. And that's when, I came to them with a new plan and kind of gave them a blueprint of how we're going to get this done. And, just to give them a path and we kind of put it in steps. And, they would repeat the steps and go through those things. And it's just kind of just like a checklist for them as they went through it. And I think as they started to get closer that they started to smell it a little bit that this is actually working. And, the doubleheader day yesterday, our guys, they just enjoy the grind. They enjoy, getting dirty. They enjoy being tired and going out there and playing hard. And yesterday it was just perfect, perfect for them to go out and do their thing and against 2 very good opponents. And I think they kind of thrive in that situation.
What did you tell them last night to get ready for this one? I mean, they probably weren't going to sleep right now.
There wasn't much to say other than get some fluids in you, and at this point they knew exactly what was in front of them. I just reminded them this morning of how important it's going to be to execute in those situations. See them doing those things, visualize having success in those situations, and for the most part, I thought we were for a college baseball game not too bad.
Coach, a couple of errors from Pat and Blake probably made the difference in
Well, Blake's error didn't cost us anything. I mean, we got in a tough situation there, and we got out of it. And, Blake's ball was a check swing that kind of was like a changeup on him a little bit. Pat, you guys making a baseball play. They're sending a runner in motion, hard hit ground ball. He's trying to be quick and get a double play and get out of the thing. And, he sped up the play and made a bad throw. But that guy played absolutely unbelievable defense all year and all tournament. And, just because there was an error in that situation, that didn't cost us the game. That guy laid it on the line for us, and, that's playing baseball. You try to make an aggressive play, and if it was a passive play where he was nervous or scared, then I might have an issue with it. But, if guys are going to make mistakes, I want to be aggressive, and that was an aggressive mistake. I don't have individuals. We're a group. We just go play and we grind it out together, and I really don't care who gets awards. We're here together as a family, and that's how it is.
Was your dugout warned for Austin was ejected? Was that
Warned?
yeah, is there a warning issue?
No, just a young man lost his cool in the heat of the moment and threw his helmet, and that's automatic ejection. So, this will be it's a good learning lesson for our guys. There's a lot on the line, a lot of emotions, and there's things that happen that in a game, no matter what they are, you have to be able to focus on what you can control. And it was a lesson for Austin, and I guarantee it won't happen again. And another one of our players didn't agree with the call and said something to an umpire, and that's not his spot to do that. And again, that hasn't happened all year. So why has that happened? Well, it's the heat of the moment, and it's just something that we have to learn how to control our emotions in those situations.
We'll take one more for Coach.
How excited are you about the future of the program?
Oh, I have to tell you, I'm not turning the page yet, and this one stings a little bit. So I'm a baseball guy. Tomorrow's a new day, and it's exciting, and you move on. But right now, this stinks. So I'm going to just let it play its course here, and I feel really bad for our guys. I don't believe in the Black Participation Award ribbon, and that's what we got today, and that's a tough one to handle.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it. Coach, I'd like to give an opening statement.
Sure. Well, I think if you're a baseball fan, from a tournament perspective overall, you probably couldn't have asked for a better tournament. There were some quality games in there, but particularly the last 2 days, when either one of those games you're playing for a championship could go either way. So just happy to be, certainly be a part of it, but I would be remiss if I didn't say congratulations to Nebraska to really a fine season and a great run right there. So it was fun to be a part of those. And if you sat in here last night, I think we were very gracious in our defeat and appreciated a good game. And I would say we're going to be very gracious in our victory and appreciate a good game as well. And we were fortunate to have the championship. So just happy, really conference-wise, for just a really good tournament, but proud of the effort of our guys. We'll speak here in a second, but I thought that was the key. We felt really, really confident with Will. He'd been a midweek guy for us, but he's a quality pitcher, and I think that we got to see that today because I think he had only thrown a third of an inning in Big Ten play coming in. So happy for the guys, happy for the team, and happy for Indiana University, and that's it.
Questions for the student athletes?
Will, that seventh, eighth inning, when they came out and they're asking you to keep going, were you surprised at all that he was keeping you in that long?
No, I knew there's nobody warming up or anything, so I was excited to get that chance to finish the game. A lot of games I've had to come out early because of walks or because of anything like that, so I was just really pumped to still be in there and still get to keep going. So.
Do you feel like you ran into a little bit of trouble? I think it was the seventh, eighth inning, but then to bounce back, did you kind of just feel at that moment that it was in your grasp to finish this thing off? That you finally kind of get a second win from that?
Oh yeah. Once I got past the sixth inning, I know I had some trouble from being tired, but after the sixth inning, I was like, all right, we got 3 more innings left, and I was just doing my best to get the job done.
Sam, how does it feel? You're a big part of it. Congratulations to all 3 of you, first of all, that you got the most outstanding player. Great hitting series. How does it feel to return the favor with a walk-off the way you did a day after having the same thing happen
It's definitely great to win a championship, and it's good to respond the way we did from yesterday. We knew we had to just shake it off and come back the next day. That's a good thing about baseball. And we ended up fortunate enough today to win the championship. It was good.
What did you kind of find in the tournament that's got you hitting so hot right now?
I just wanted to do whatever I can to help the team win a championship. It's been a goal since the beginning of the year, and I knew I had to be locked in, swing at good pitches, and do whatever I can to help the team win.
Anything in particular with your approach, because you've been slumping, got down below 300, now you're back above 300. Anything in particular that you changed, made some adjustments?
No, not really. That's baseball. You just got to keep going.
Hey Sam, just describe that last at bat, what you saw. You were on first, right? And just what you made it happen so fast, it seemed like, but the hit and the celebration after.
As soon as Donnelly hit the ball, Schwarber kind of just ran, and I told him to go touch the other base, but the umpire already realized it was too late, so he called him out. But luckily there was not 2 outs, and we still got the win.
Yeah, but I just, the emotion of that moment, I mean, could you just describe
It was awesome. As soon as Donnelly hit the ball, I knew right away that we won the game, and there's not a better feeling than winning a championship, so it was a great feeling.
Michael, what does it mean to you as a senior? Now you got the regular season title and the finish off with the tournament title going into postseason play. Pretty strong.
It just puts more legitimacy to what we've done all season, and it was another thing that we wanted to accomplish. And as a senior, it means everything. This is my last go around at it, and it's the best season that we've had as a team so far. So it means a lot to me that when I'm done here, I can know that my senior season was a championship season. So, but on the year, I just think it puts more legitimacy to everything we've done, and we're excited to go play in the NCAA postseason now and get after that.
Michael, Skip said last night, and Jeremy Graham was talking last weekend about how if it wasn't hard, it wouldn't be as fun or something like that. How difficult was this for you, this tournament, now celebrating the championship?
It was definitely, there were 2 very tough games there at the end of it, and they brought Kubat back today, and he was the one that beat us earlier in the season, and he threw great at the beginning of the game. So it was a hard-fought game. It was pretty tough, but it is more fun when it's difficult. And if you blow them out 10-0, it is awesome that you did that, but I'd rather win on a walk-off because it's more exciting.
When they started to rally with the single runs in the 7th and 8th, you kind of had that feeling of here we go again?
No. I mean, it's just another game where it's close and you have to find a way to come through in the end. We were never down, if I remember correctly, so at no moment did I think we're going to lose because we still had every opportunity to win the game, and that's what we did. So, no, I never thought, here we go again.
The setting of this whole week, if you look back at it, the setting of Target Field, did that kind of add to just the uniqueness of your situation this year, just kind of add to this run, this whole season, just make it a little bit more special?
Yeah, Target Field's amazing. I'm from Cincinnati, and I love Great American Ballpark, and I would always say it was the best park in the country, but this is right up there with it. It's if not better. And it's definitely special to get to play on a big league park like this, and this setting just makes it feel bigger anytime you get to play at a place like this. It definitely adds to the intensity of any situation, and especially in a championship game like today.
Michael, Darren Nurse had just said he thinks you guys are a College World Series caliber team. Somebody from the SEC or Pac-12 might read that and say, oh, well, it's Big Ten, but I mean, what do you guys think you are capable of these next couple weekends?
Well, all season long, we've been talking about Omaha. It's been a goal of ours, and we think that we are a College World Series caliber team. And if we play our best baseball, we know that we have all the talent to get there. So we just have to focus on doing that, and I think that all the cards will fall into place.
Well, I know you touched on it already, but could you just talk telling yourself as you said, okay, there's nobody warming up, it's my game and I need to hold them in check?
Well, I mean, I was tired, but I really just throwing strikes was what I needed to do. And for the most part, I did that, and I was really confident with my defense, who, I mean, for the most part, it's been kind of like our biggest struggle this entire year. And we made 0 errors today. And then obviously our bats, I was confident that if I got those last 3 outs in the 9th inning, then we would come through because we were at the top of the order up. So.
Did you just feel like you didn't care about the fatigue at that point? You knew there was something you could do about it? Like,
Yeah.
Just what's that feeling like where you're like, all right, did you feel like you had to locate better, like less velocity? Or
Yeah. Normally when I don't try to throw as hard, my ball's got a lot more movement, a lot more downwards plane and everything. So, yeah, I just worried about throwing strikes. And, I mean, my legs were tired. It wasn't really my arm that much. I was just pretty exhausted. But, yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Sam, Scott Donnelly with his walk-off hit reclaimed the Big Ten lead in RBIs, and that's kind of not. Just trying to say, would you be sitting there as champions without Scott Donnelly and the contributions he gave to this order all season?
Absolutely not. Scott Donnelly completely changes our lineup, you know, especially just throwing him right in the middle of the order like that. And you can see by his numbers, he's had a lot of success for us all year, and we'd be a different team without him.
Take one more for the student athletes. All right, you guys are free to go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sam, question for Coach?
Yeah, the same question I asked Sam. Could you have scripted it any differently to come back and win with a walk-off the day after being walked off?
The only change to the script that I would have made, and I actually had this feeling before the game, was that the game winner was going to, the go-ahead run was going to come from Trace Knobloch, a senior. And he actually had that chance, I think at the bottom of the 8th. And the reason I say that and I point that out is because it's like you can't have a year like this if your seniors aren't good leaders. And so I really felt that because I said, here's a guy that practices hard every day. He doesn't get as many at bats as, clearly. And I just, in my mind, I was like, if I could have scripted this, just made one little tweak to that script, it would have been, and not taking anything away from Scotty, but to have Trace Knobloch hit that winner, because I think that just adds validity to the preparation of every day. You never know when you're going to be in that situation to win a game, but I did like the walk-off because that was, our guy, it hurt last night. I mean, but you just regroup, and then it was like, okay, they broke our hearts last night, let's break theirs tonight. And so that was fun. That crazy thing at the end kind of soured it for me a little bit. I look up and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm not real well versed on the rule on that. I was like, no, wait a minute, tell me they don't send the guys back to the original bases or something like that. I could have killed Schwarber. Actually, he'd kill me, but I would have tried.
Tracy, you had said before the tournament that you weren't much of a guy listing out goals, but the Big Ten tournament was one of the things that the guys had come up with at the beginning of the season. And slowly, you guys have been crossing those things off, and this is just another one of those things you crossed off. The way you guys went about it this week, to come back after that rally last night, it just kind of adds just the uniqueness of this season, the way it has gone all year.
And I'd say uniqueness of this team. I wish that that you would have access to the bus back to the hotel last night, or I wish that you had access to, breakfast today, and just seeing how comfortable and relaxed these guys were. And I've been on the other end of that too. And I knew the mindset would be a little bit differently for Nebraska today, because I've been in that dugout too, where you're loose. You've got what seems to be a very big challenge ahead, and I'm saying starting out the day, you got 3 games to go. So you play a little bit differently, but when it gets down to that one, then your mind starts thinking, oh, we just got one more, and then we can be playing in a regional. So I knew there'd be a little bit of that going on, but I loved our guys' mindset and I'm a pretty confident guy. Those guys gave me confidence today because they were so relaxed and just like, hey, we got this, we're fine. And I like the uniqueness of that. not just with the season. We wouldn't have that season if we didn't have that mindset. And to me, it starts with the Mike Basils and guys like that, the Sam Travises, that just keep very even keel. And but the goal of these guys, they want to play in Omaha. They really do. And so we're happy that we officially have access and opportunity to play for Omaha. I think and thought we were going to get it anyway, but now we don't even have to worry about it.
What are your expectations tomorrow, though, on seeding day? I mean, how big would it be to get a top 8?
It would be big. I mean, I leave that. There's some pretty bright people on that committee, and if you've listened or you've followed things that I've said, I think there's probably no sport in college athletics that is more geographically skewed than our sport, softball. Some would argue golf, but I just don't know where you figure in that whole RPI and seeding. I mean, what we've done as far as a northern school to have the RPI that we do, because I go back and I look, because I'm hearing the things that we're not going to get it, based on the portfolios of other people. But when you look at the portfolio of Indiana University relative to some of the other, and I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but there are no other teams that have played the amount of road games that we have, the limited number of home games, and I think if you factor that in, why not? But I'll leave that up to committee. We'll certainly respect any decision they make. I hope that we get a chance to host. Being a top 8 seed would be fantastic. Do I think it's unrealistic? Do I think we don't deserve it? Absolutely not. I mean, I think we deserve it as much as anybody, given all the things that we've had to do to put ourselves in position. I just don't know how the committee is going to look at that, but we'll just, we'll be anxious to hear. Was that tomorrow they announced those? I know the host sites tonight, I think, right? They announce host institutions. Okay. So we'll be anxiously checking that out. And if for some reason, it doesn't happen, it's not going to change our mentality. Our focus is going to be, because in 2009, quite frankly, we probably had a more talented team than this and went down and laid an egg in the regional down at Louisville. So our thing is, we're not just happy to be there. That was probably more the mindset of 2009. It was kind of like, whew. I think win, lose, or draw this game today, our guys, they're focused on, they want to keep playing, and they keep saying Omaha. It's not fake. They're going to be locked in and try to win game 1 of the regional.
Coach, you mentioned 09, you had a good team last year. What I guess, factors unfolded, or what do you see that's different about these guys?
Without making a lot of things external, this group, I don't have to deal with anything except making lineups and maybe minute things in terms of motivation. The guy that's sitting to my right, Mike Basils, is one of the best leaders I've ever had. And it's like this group, they are so focused on baseball and so focused on each other. They don't care who gets the credit as long as we get the win. And that's a rarity. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I literally could count on one hand, probably 2 fingers, teams that I've had that I've enjoyed as much as this team. And that's why when I think about it, I am so happy that I'm a big one, and you get what you deserve. If you don't get the result, it's probably because you didn't put in the time. This group has put in the time. They put in all the stuff that goes with it, not just the talent. So I'm very happy that they get to come up here and say we're regular season champions. They get to say they're Big Ten tournament champions, because they've earned it. They really, really have. But it's the chemistry, it's the leadership of that senior group, and they're like having multiple assistant coaches, and and any coach would tell you it's a rarity to have those type of years. We all talk about it, but for it to be real, I don't do a lot. I mean, I hope my AD's not watching. But it's a good not do a lot. I just get out of their way. I told them after we lost last night, I said, I'm smart enough, I'll get out of your way. I trust you. So.
Coach, the Big Ten certainly isn't known as a baseball conference, but based on what you've seen over the past couple of days, do you kind of see the sport ascending in this conference, or where do you see it going next?
Yeah, because I know your framing your question is more on a national scene. We're not perceived, because I don't perceive it as not a good baseball conference. I still think there are things that that factor into people's decisions. I would say to anybody, do what the Big Ten Conference does at the beginning of the season and play 20 straight road games. If you flip this country upside down, I think you would see some reverse RPIs. So, but that said, I think the success, the investment that people are making in facilities, the good programs joining a conference like Nebraska and others to be joining in 2014 or 15, whatever that year is, I think that's only going to elevate. But I'm a believer that this has always been a good baseball conference. I personally don't think it gets the respect that it deserves. And I understand if people are just looking at records, but I look at even Nebraska right now. Nebraska is one game under 500. I would venture to say that there aren't 60-some teams playing as well and as good a baseball as they are at this point in the season. And that's my frustration oftentimes comes with that. But I get it. It's the system we live with. We're not going to change the weather. But hopefully we can be a positive representative for the Big Ten in the NCAA tournament, and I hope that some other teams get the at-large bid too.
Coach, you talked about the possibility of hosting a regional, possibility of being one of the 8 national seeds. Either way, whatever happens, where do you stack up your team with some of the, let's say, favorites to go to Omaha and a more traditional conference?
Well, I don't like to be one to speak necessarily about my team or what I think they're going to do, but I'll leave it general. I mean, we played SEC schools. We played, some high RPI schools. The coaches would come up to me after the series and say, you guys are as good as any team that plays in our league. You guys are better than most team that plays in our league. So, and that's not Tracy Smith speaking. Excuse me. That's our opposing coaches. So we take it as a compliment, but our confidence level, we think we can. I mean, that's why you send your kids off. I mean, Travis and Schwarber went out and had outstanding years in the Cape, and I think that has a lot to do with their confidence level. But we feel like we can play with and beat anybody in the country. Now, we may go out next week and lay an egg and go 0 for 2, but that isn't going to change my perception. And you got to be good, but you also have to be lucky. But I think, our resume on the year shows, and I did want to mention that. This has been the most unique year for me personally because we've had the target on our back. When you get labeled as a top 20 team in the country, you get everybody's best effort every single time. And I think it shows how good this team is that they're able to answer that bell every single time. And they didn't fold. So I don't want to sound arrogant, but we're really not worried about if we just do what what are we, top 5 in ERA? We hit, we're physical, got to take care of the baseball. But if we do those things, we can beat anybody.
Can you talk about Will's effort today? You talked about last night how you needed to save some arms for the NCAA tournament, and just what an effort for him to go career high 9.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't want to say, I knew he would do it, but we felt like he's going to do it. I think I said, or maybe I didn't say to you guys, I said to someone else, but I was like, he's been pitching his midweek games against Louisville. He's been pitching his midweek games against Kentucky. He's been facing really, really good competition and doing really, really well. So we weren't that surprised. We liked our chances, but for him to go out there and give you a solid 9 like that, and you could look, and I'm looking at his pitch count, it'd be misleading. The guy has about as fresh an arm as anybody. We're not going to bring him back on short rest, but that was just a tremendous performance by him, and we got it when we needed it.
Take 2 more, Coach.
Recruiting-wise in the program, what is the Big Ten after with the regular season, maybe hosting the regional? Will that open some doors for you?
I think so. I mean, Coach Neal and Coach Greenspan, they do a lot of the lion's share, but I think they do a fantastic job. And this is, when we're talking about Big Ten baseball and where it stacks up on the national scene, they finally changed some rules in the Big Ten, which I know Coach Erstadt was even talking about the oversign. I think that stuff has a direct impact. You look at what Purdue did last year, fantastic year, got wiped out in the draft. Our greatest challenge in the Big Ten is to be able to protect yourselves when you have a lot of underclassmen. And the only way to do that is, and I'm very pleased with the Big Ten's decision to expand on the oversignability of recruits. But playing on the Big Ten network is huge. I mean, on my phone, when I'll check my messages when I get back in the locker room, there'll be 50 text messages from people all over the country. And that wasn't happening. How long has the Big Ten Network been in existence? 6 years?
2007.
6 years? So that wasn't happening 7 years ago. So it just, all of that, I think, feeds the facilities, the success, hopefully being able to host a regional, and I understand ESPN is going to be doing the regional sites. I know I'm biased. I love Indiana. So we'll see, but it ain't going to hurt, let's put it that way.
What's the difference in the oversigning legislation?
Right now, the current legislation, which was only like 2 or 3 years old, you could oversign over one scholarship over 2 players. This is what I heard, I think I'm accurate on this, that it's now 2 scholarships and there's no restriction on the number of players you can do that over, which will help dramatically. Going back to 2009, we had 3 first-round draft picks that were juniors. We couldn't use their money until they physically signed a contract. And so now this helps, and it helps you forecast guys that you're going to lose and hopefully cover your tracks a little bit so that you don't have a dip in talent.
Is that going to place?
I think I heard it. I think August 1st is what I heard. Yeah, it's very significant for our conference. I can tell you that.
All right, thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.